Okay, guys, so tonight it's supposed to rain real heavily, and that rain is supposed to last until nightfall tomorrow. It's going to be wavering. It's not always going to be heavy rain. There will be lighter rain times, but we're going to have some pretty heavy rain tonight. My tent is the River Country Products Trekker 2.2. I've been using this tent since I started my trek in early November. It is currently early December. I've been out for, I think it's, let's see, as of today, I think I've been out here for a month and 2 days. And I've been in the rain in this thing twice. However, one time I got a lot of water in the tent, but that was not actually the tent's fault. That was my fault for how it was set up, and the soil was too soft. The stakes didn't stand, the wind was heavy, it pushed the stakes right out, or it pulled the stakes right out of the ground, and they were flapping in the wind, and it was getting water all inside, and it was a problem. The second time, which is the night before last, and that was a light rain though, it wasn't anything crazy, but I didn't get any kind of, well, that's not true, I got a little bit of leakage. I think, maybe. I'm not actually sure. But I'll show you the corner. So in this front corner here, behind my solar panel, there was water. And I don't know if that's because of a leak or if because it somehow got in through here. Because that has happened to me where the water has gotten in through the flap under here. So pull this so it's under here better. Gopher hole. I can hear those gophers sometimes. See, like over here, see all this water? None of that has gotten in. That's left over from the previous night. Anyways, yeah, tonight. Sorry, you had to see my disgusting foot for a second there. But yeah. So tonight we're going to see if this thing leaks. I know some of the water was due to condensation, so I'm definitely not bashing it for that. I just need to confirm if the water that got in at that corner is from condensation or if there's an actual leak. Because I have seam sealed and weatherproofed this tent. I do that regardless. I did that with the tent that you saw in the very first video of me camping. That was like a cheap $25 Walmart tent. I still weatherproofed it, you know. I didn't have to seam seal it. I probably should have, but you know, I didn't have seam sealer at the time. But now it's seam sealed, which is actually what all this stuff here is. All this like this flaky stuff. It was my first time using it, and I wasn't expecting it to come out so quickly. And but I mean, I figured it out. By the time I got back around here, you can't even see it. But I mean, yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. It's really coming down now. It's about 3 a.m. Okay, so it's 8 in the morning now, and I don't know, it's weird because a couple hours ago I checked down here and it wasn't wet at all. This was bone dry down here. And it has been constantly raining since 10 p.m. last night. But we got a nice puddle over here. But the weird thing is, I don't see it leaking anywhere. So I'm wondering what the hell happened. Like, I don't see water coming in from anywhere over here. And I was looking at this corner and it's not leaking. In fact, this doesn't even stretch out to... Let me move that as the case for my stove. over here. It's just isolated over here, and I'm looking, and there's no leakage. It's just wet for some reason. But then again, when I look under my sleeping pad here, more water. And like I look closely at the seams and everything, and I'm not seeing water come through. Especially not where this would make sense. So maybe it is seeping through the actual fabric and the floor itself, and I might have to try and do something about that. Alright, so I think I did figure it out. It isn't a leak. Well, not completely a leak. Underneath my tent here, like right here, I can feel it. And I feel it in other places too, but right here where there's a dip, feels like there's a little pool of water underneath. And I do have a tarp underneath my tent, mind you. However, this feels like, you know, if you have a pool at home and you have the cover over it and then you push it down on the cover, like that's what it feels like. And then I looked up here, there's my chamois, and there's like, you can maybe see that a little bit. Can you see that? That water right there. Now I am on kind of uneven ground. However, this was the best I could find. Hey guys, so a quick check back. It is 100% all the water that is in my tent is not actually, I realized upon closer inspection, aside from one corner where there's a slight leak, I think it's still condensation in just the sides pinching. All of it is actually just because there's water under my tent and it is leaking through, or it's, you know, it's going through the floor fabric. It's soaking through it. It is actually, or it was a really heavy night last night. It's been heavy most of this morning so far. It's calmed down a little bit just now, but yeah, so I'm going to chalk this one up to user error, slash just what I had to work with. Like, this was the best spot that I could find. So, I mean, not much else I could do about it. But hey, lesson learned. I'm going to try and find a more level spot the next time I go out. Tomorrow is supposed to be sunny again, like I said, I believe earlier. And I'm going to use that time to let my tent dry out. And then when I pack up my tent, I'm going to just maybe flip it over after taking it down and dab the bottom a bunch with my chamois, make sure that's as dry as it can be before packing it up. Yeah, however, I looked underneath the tent and there are puddles. There's puddles underneath because rain seeped through. I had my tarp sticking out a little bit too much. The puddles are a lot of, well, I mean, it was worse, but you can see that's it's a pretty thick amount of water down there a ways. So yeah, that was the problem, was just water puddled underneath, and over time it just seeped through and into my tent. So I'm gonna have to take my chamois and get that down there so we can soak that up. It's not supposed to rain tonight, thankfully, and it's actually not supposed to rain again for 2 days. We're actually supposed to have some clear sunny days tomorrow and then the day after. Right now you can see it's still pretty cloudy, but yeah, so this is something I'm gonna have to work on. This is entirely user error. This was not the tent failing, this was me failing. I just want to make that clear. So this is again, River Country Products Trekker 2.2. It is seam sealed, it is sprayed with weatherproofing, and I had no issues with the seams or it seeping through, you know, the top part of the tent or even on the sides. It was all underneath, and a little bit was condensation, which happens. Even when you seam seal and weatherproof a tent, you're gonna get condensation. So there's good ventilation too, so you know, don't get me wrong. There just wasn't much I can do. It was a wet, humid, you know, rainy night. There's gonna be condensation no matter what you do. But yeah, I'm probably gonna, unless I see something interesting between now and when I get back into Sonora, I'm not going to be filming again. I'm going to wait until I actually get into Sonora to do anything else film wise. And yeah, so I'll see you then. Okay, so I lied. One more clip. I woke up today and it's pretty frosty. Holy shit. It hit 0 degrees last night after raining all day yesterday. My poor sandals. Yeah, but the good news is today is going to be a clear, sunny day, and that sun is working on getting over the hill over there, so I'll have some direct sunlight in about half an hour, and yeah, we can melt the ice off my tent, hopefully get it dried off so I can pack up and head on to Sonora finally. Ooh. See you then.